Welcome everybody who joins us today live for our, in the meantime, 12th episode of Leading the Change. Today we will talk about the fashion industry and how it can be pioneered, or how sustainability can be pioneered in the fashion industry. And to do so, we have also again today a wonderful guest. We have Luis Cristino joining us today. Catherine and I got to know Luis during our masterclass, Circular Economy and Sustainability Strategy at the Cambridge University. And afterwards, the three of us followed each other on LinkedIn. And Luis, also in the meantime, is a regular, I would say, in our LinkedIn Leading the Change webinar. And it's really a great pleasure to have you here today, Luis, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me joining Old College and enjoying your 12th episode of webinar. It's really a pleasure to talk with you again.
Super. I give you a little bit in a nutshell. I tell you something about Luis. So Luis and I have something in common. Both of us, we spent our careers in the fashion industry, and at a certain point in our life, we both decided, okay, now it is time. It's time to give back. It's time to make a change, leading the change and making an impact on the society and on the world in general. So that's our commonality. Luis, however, he is a very senior executive. He's a CEO. He spent more than 25 years in various dye houses. And from what I know in Luis, he is a strong believer. He believes in achieving success. And he believes when we combine our willpower with our beliefs, we can all conquer and change the world. And he is really committed in transforming the creative energy that is in our global society into a force for good, into a force for a positive change to change the world. So after more than 25 years, Luis co-founded OMA. That's a sustainability platform that helps businesses to transform. He's also a member of the so-called TC 323, the Technical Commission for Circular Economy. He's the General Assembly Chairman of the Textile Academy, and he's a business mentor for Blue BioValue, which is a program that is run by Calouste Gulbenkian Foundation and the Oceano Azul Foundation. And their mission is to boost blue biotechnology and the marine economy. So that's in a nutshell about Luis. So just a bit of administration for those who join us for the first time today. We will go roughly 20 minutes in discussion with Luis, and then we reserve some 10 minutes where you can directly ask questions to Luis. So if you have questions in the meantime, please type it into LinkedIn and we will get back to them at the end. So then straight into it. Catherine, over to you. You can fire up the first question to Luis.
Absolutely. Thank you, Luis, for joining us. And it's really a pleasure having, as you said it earlier, to be able to talk with peers and on our journey, personal transformation journey, if I may say so. So, which prompts me to my first question. You have been for so many years in textile.
Yes, a lot.
What made you move into you focusing on sustainability within the fashion? What was the prompt which made you move over there?
25 years. In 25 years, we see a lot on the textile fashion and on the dyeing companies. And the first prompt it was the personal motivation, because in Europe, as many know and as Peter knows, we have extremely concern about sustainability and environment impacts of the textile. But on the daily running day of the factories, we don't care about it. the concern about the impact of the textiles and the my desire to change a little bit my own company on the past for a more greener company. That is the click on my brain to change. And of course, like Hans Peter said, when we have will inside of us, we want to do more and to do left a footprint on the global or on our industry. And when I decided to close the company and changing my career for sustainability, I saw that I can contribute the change for the companies, similar companies, on the people, because, like I said, I saw a lot, and we have to level the terrain, the field that we work on the fashion. So that it was a personal motivation to give a footprint, personal footprint on the positive side of the industry. Some people can call me on the past, and I closed and decided to this. You are lunatic. You are crazy. What you have done? What you have done to your life? And I said, I feel better now because we want to help people to change their minds too, and helping to change their business, because we cannot produce the fashion on the as usual like we produce. So developing, because in the company is a little parent. The last years of the company, we are already developing innovating solutions for the sector. And my main dream, if we are still on the industry, is transform the big factory on the big laboratory. So in Europe, you cannot even in Portugal, you cannot change like that. So I prefer to do it personally and helping people and helping companies to transform their model business.
Hans Peter, you're on mute.
You're mute.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that I just wanted to say it connects a lot with me, because I think what you just said, I also got reactions from people. Are you crazy? You know, why are you doing that? And then I think it's your personal motivation, wanna making an impact, wanna leave a legacy. I didn't hear you saying that, but I think you said it before. You wanna leave a legacy towards when you towards the world and towards the society and the companies around you. So that's very interesting. I have a daughter. Let's go.
Because on the eyes of some people, we have excellent careers. We are CEOs on the textile companies. We are relevant C-levels on the top companies. So that was good in the final of the month. But inside, I think sometimes the money is not everything. I think it is like you said, the will inside us to making the change. I think they don't pay enough in money after the month, but I pay enough very well on the art and on our mindset. Mm-hmm. Sorry, interrupting.
No, I think it's this real inner belief and this real inner drive that I think is important, because you need this resilience. Because we had some discussions in previous episodes where people say it's all going too slow, so you need this resilience that you say, okay, but that's my North Star. There I want to go, and I think that's important to have that. Let's move to what interests me, because last week or this week it was even. There were coming some headlines up that the ultra fast fashion chains, Shein and Temu, they are shipping directly from their factories in China to consumers. For example, last year in June, the US Congress asked, and they found out that 600,000 packages a day are shipped air freighted, by the way, not on boat, air freighted, daily 600,000 packages to the US. And estimates are saying that nowadays it's around 400,000 to Germany. So Shein is shipping an equivalent of 5,000 tons, Temu 4,000 tons daily of fast fashion. So there are people saying that this is a roughly daily 108 Boeing 777, which they just send up in the air. And for example, Apple, one of the largest company in the world, tech company in the world, they only ship 1,000 tons a day. So these guys are shipping 9,000 together, and Apple is only shipping 1,000. So, and of course, this fast fashion trend that is going on, I think it has an impact on product quality. So there, at least you can observe that there is probably a trend going on that even from higher brands, that product quality is a little bit going down, deteriorating. So can you share some insights in what you think, how brands, what they can do to reverse this decline in clothing quality, and on the other hand also encourage a longer garment use, because I think that's important.
Yes, when people say that the textile industry is the second most pollutant on the world, that is the problem that you talk about, Shane. And normally people say that to me, and I said, yes, that is true. Globally, that's numbers, they are true. And they are increasing, because at this moment we are 8 billion of people on the world, and annually our produces about 150 billion of garments per year. So we have to put clothes on all these people. So that is the problem. And if the people grows, the clothes companies and clothes productions have to grow too. So that is, at this moment, that is the problem that I see. Of course, with all of this, the people on prices, on cheap materials, because otherwise they cannot have cheap materials and poor materials. So I think that they have reversed these trends, because at this moment I can say that we have, if the textiles industry stops on the world, I think all the world have close to the next another years. That is a big number. That is a drastic number, but that is true, because if you go the ratio, 8 billion people for 150 billion, so you can reach about almost another years without production, but we have still close. So I think to reverse, we have to show awareness to the consumption, or to do the consumers, because otherwise companies will not invest on durable and high quality materials. They don't implant efficient in the environmentally friendly production, because Shane, how can Shane put that number on the world? So that is not a big factory. This is a fair. It is unfair production for everyone, because if you see on the shop a T-shirt that says organic cotton about €5, people have to think. So if I have the T-shirt with €5 in the shop, someone on the value chain didn't pay about that work. That is the main problem, and of course the brands are against about this, but consumers have to learn or have to teach the brands, and after that the brands have to transform their models of production. Of course, investing on durable, high-quality materials, promoting. The brands have to promote. That is the problem. That's the big white elephant on the room in this moment between all of the people that are watching us. That the brands have to promote conscious consumption, And that is the problem for the brands, because the model business of the brands have produce. So we cannot staying on that business model. We have to change the business model for more conscious consumption. And how can brands do that? Increasing the materials quality and encouraging. Imagine there are some companies, and I think we'll talk in on the next. There are brands encouraging to resell the second products, on second-hand products, and encouraging to repair the old trousers or old shirts. So I think it's 2 or 3 points that I'm saying now to can change and reverse all of this that you said. That is.
So basically, what we have to do then, Luis, is to make secondhand and our clothes for 100 years fashionable, if I may say so, for every one of us, and no more to produce anymore. So, and that is most likely a fear. How shall I say? A fear of most of the companies. It is how do you go transition from an process efficiency, low cost production to something which is more the consciousness and the conscious buying and buying patterns. So now, which leads me to another question.
But before that,
yes?
I'm sorry, Catherine.
Sure.
Before that, at this moment, Europe lives in textile industry, on textiles brands, lives. They are not living a crisis. They are living a moment of transformation, because the decrease of the consumption, it happened. But the consumers really know at this moment that they want to buy, and they don't want to buy. Except the example that Hans Peter shows about chain, they want to buy more durable clothes and more high quality clothes. So I think that is the ideal moment for the companies can reverse the business models, because if you want less shoppers and they want more quality, so that is the moment to transform the business model. I think it is the right moment. Unfortunately, we're living in a crisis in Europe, but I think it is the right moment to transform.
Absolutely. Well, and with transformation, I mean, which brings me now to my question, with what you have, the sustainability practices in Portugal in your textile sector, how could you, with already what you said was around transformation, about changing the behaviors of consumers, made them more aware of what possibilities there are there. How could this possibly globally inspire the fashion industry, or inspire the fashion industry in a global manner? Especially when I come back to Hans Peter's point that China is basically bringing an avalanche of clothing to Europe and to the Western world.
Yes, that is a good question, because I think Portugal can be the leader of the innovation and sustainability in textile. At this moment, Portugal is the major cluster on textile in Europe. So that in Portugal we have a chance to lead the innovation and to lead the sustainability production. We have many examples that here in Portugal. We in Portugal can produce or can dye. That is the point. We can dye pieces or knitting or fabrics without petrochemicals. So that is a big step for the decarbonation of the sector, because as you know, some chemical products comes from the fuel fossils. So that's already possible to produce in Portugal dyeing pieces or knitting without petrochemicals. I think it is a very huge step for the more greener greener production in Europe. Developing the recycled ecosystem. Here in Portugal, we don't have many recycle companies, but we have recycle companies with almost 60 years. So some people somehow on the past, they are visionary and said that the future could be recycled clothes or recycle the residues of the textile company, because as you know, on value chain you can lose about 25 of production of material until you get the shirt. So we have examples in Portugal, they put that residue on the recycle and produce new fiber, new yarn, new clothes. That is another example, and a very old example that we already have in Portugal, about 1 or 2 companies that so with that age. Another example, we have the first genetical lab for applying for the textile company. They can make some dye stuff from bacterial fermentations. So that is a huge step for the biotechnology, on putting biotechnology on the textile companies. So there are these examples because. So with all of these examples that I give, the three examples, and not giving names, but what are Portugal waiting or Europe waiting for? Put these examples and doing the scale up for the rest of the countries, or for the rest of the industries, of the textile industry. So I think with this inspiration and valorization, this kind of business, we have all the goals, all the hands to being leader. And another input. Some companies, they are closing the loop about the textiles. There are programs, and we have many programs on the companies about the workwear. As you know, the workwear it sometimes goes shrink or something else, and the companies are avoiding the landing field, the old workwear, and they put on the programs on circular economy, and after that we are avoiding the going to landfill. We are producing new materials, upscaling the textile residue for another products. So we all of this in Portugal. So I think we can globally inspire the fashion industry. Of course, we are not pioneers on other fields, but on this we can give the leading for the rest of the world.
Okay, thank you. So I think if I understand you correctly, you're really advocating that you say Portugal in history. When I remember I started my career, I was still buying. I had suppliers in Portugal, so Portugal was, but you're saying now Portugal is more and more becoming the innovation hub and also the circular economy. So I think that is something good to hear.
Yeah, because we have, sorry, Hans Peter, because we have the textile cluster have to change, because when you in the past buying on Portugal, I'm sorry to say that, but it was true. We are a cheaper country for production. So the customers don't about the quality on the innovation, because it was more cheaper to produce here. So we have to change that, because otherwise the textile cluster could disappear, or we will be seen about. I'm sorry to say that, but I think the Bangladesh or the countries like that on the textile sector, the cheapest production and bad quality production, because you come because you like the quality and we like the price too, and so that we buy. We buy in the past, But we have to change with this innovation. And I'm sorry to interrupting your.
No. I think it's good. Thank you for elaborating on that as well. Now, what you're just saying, so we have to change. I'm now looking a bit at the time, so we have 5 more minutes to go. I don't see any questions coming in, so I would like to ask you one more question, because and then looking a bit also ahead, we have to change. Fashion is a very exciting, funny industry, and I think the product is very emotional. So if we want to really succeed in the long run, you in Portugal, but also globally, we need to attract young people to want to join the fashion industry, but not only join the fashion industry, but really want to make an impact and also want to change the fashion industry. So would you have any strategies for companies, or for, in Portugal, do you have any examples that you say, how can you draw the younger generation into sustainable roles in the fashion industry?
We have a problem in Portugal too about that, because we don't have working people to work on the textile industry, because the new people sees the textile industry like a dirty industry, because all of this that we talked, the pollutions and on the past, when we were a child, if you don't want to succeed on the school, your parents said to you, if you don't have good grades on the summer vacations, we'll work to the confection or we'll work to the dyeing houses. Yes, it was true. I'm not blaming about that, because pushing us to have the good grades on the school. So that is a bad connection about the textile industry at this moment. And of course, the young people wants the more attractive jobs. But the textile some textile companies already made, like the Textile Academy, that is to demonstrate the positive impact that the fashion can have on the people and on the world. So the strategy is demonstrate to all of the new people that come out from the universities that fashion industry could be a successful and impactful and a positive impact on the world. With the industry, textile industry can offer challenge and good rewarding career opportunities, because if you need and if you in the past need a textile engineer on the mill, at this moment you need the textile engineer, you need biochemical people, you need any new professions and new professionals on the textile company. We cannot the marketing, the communication about the companies and the brands, they are changing, and the cluster have a communication problem. So the communication people can come to industry, textile industry, to show how can it be available to work here, to work on the textile. Of course, me and then Peter, we are not good examples because we came out from the textile industry. But
yes, but I think what you're saying is really important, because I think that there's so much opportunity in with new roles, with bringing the old the tradition back, to bring it in such a way that it is sustainable, that it doesn't harm our environment, and
yes.
it is a traditional industry here in Europe. If I'm thinking also about, would it be Germany, but would it be also France? Would it be Italy? We have so many traditions that we can use. First, all these new professions, and on the other side, also use the the 100, this immense amount of clothing that that will be only worn maybe for 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 occasions, that we can convert them in other products. And unfortunately, we are at the end of our webinar, but what I want to say is, and to our listeners, you have two seasoned senior executives here from the fashion industry. And I want to highlight the passion that you could see in their eyes, because this is what legacy is all about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really a passionate discussion. Yes, Hans-Peter, Luis, what do you want to say?
For me, we can talk about hours,
Yes,
as you know, and because as you said, the brilliance of the eyes when we talk about textile, it is a virus like you put inside of our body. That is the first point. And if you have the will to change, because we already saw that the harmful that we have done, I think with the willpower and the brilliance of the eyes, we can change. I think we can change the others to think different and to work different. I think it is the key point to this.
And something you didn't advocate, my dear fellow men, is that fashion makes us feel great. So the
Yes.
more we have beautiful garment on us, the better we feel, don't we?
Yes, that's true.
It fashion triggers emotion, and that's the super thing when you're in this business. So I can only advocate, and when I talk to young people, it's really pleasant and a very interesting sector to be in. It has its challenges, but I think if we all, as Luis said, if we all have this belief that we can change it, there is a great future ahead. So, Luis, thank you very much. Catherine, thank you.
My pleasure.
Real pleasure, and hopefully see you soon. And thank you for our listeners. And for, if you want, as Catherine said, if you have questions afterwards, just post it in LinkedIn, and then we will get back to you. So thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Nice. Bye.